Welcome to Terrifying Tales, the channel dedicated to telling original horror stories. Sleigh bells. To most people, the thought of working the night shift on Christmas Eve is a horrible one. Not me. I've never been a fan of Christmas. I won't bore you with the details. Let's just leave it at there's nobody at home stoking the fire, no decorated tree littered with presents beneath, and no big family dinner plans for me. I'll be seeing in the festive day on my own, working the night shift at Desmond's, the local department store. In Shepherd's Quarry, Desmond's is the closest thing to a chain department store one is likely to find in a small town like this one. They stock a little of everything in the two-floor building. As people will say, if you can't find it at Desmond's, then you can't find it in Shepherd's Quarry. Mr. Desmond is a nice enough man. Nice enough to give a guy like me a chance anyway. I took the job as a night security officer about 10 months ago. And to be honest, it's the easiest job I've ever had. I work the shift on my own, sharing the role with another guy. We work week on, week off, rotating. The other guy's name is Carlos. He was happy to meet me. When I took the job last February, Carlos had been working every shift since the last guy disappeared. I was never told much about my predecessor, only that his name was Chris. Chris began his last shift Christmas Eve, and when the store reopened after the holidays, nobody ever saw or heard from him again. Someone had corrupted the CCTV footage for the night he went missing. There were no signs of a break-in or any signs of trouble inside the store. In fact, the only thing out of place was a smashed reindeer decoration. They assumed that he either left town without telling anybody, or whatever happened to him happened somewhere other than Desmond's. My lack of excitement towards Christmas amuses Carlos. He says it reminds him of Chris. Carlos refers to Chris as the Grinch. Said the man hated every aspect of the holiday season, from the music and decorations to the tradition of gift giving. I have to point out, I'm not against people doing what makes them happy. Personally, I just don't see the point, and none of the Christmassy stuff appeals to me. Heavy rain greets me as I pull my pickup out back. There's no way to get to the back door without getting drenched. I psych myself up and jump into the downpour. The rain soaks through my coat and grips my skin like icy fingers. I fumble through my keys as I make my way to the door. The cold shiver rolls through my spine as I pull the door open. The familiar darkness swallows me as the door slams shut behind. There aren't any lights in the back stairwell. There's no latch for the lock of the door. I have to lock it behind me with the key. I feel for the handrail and my boots find the first step. The echo of my heavy boots fills the space as I climb to the top. The gentle hum and dim glow of the security monitors greet me inside the office. I have to admit, Desmond's has a pretty good surveillance system. There isn't a blind spot anywhere, other than the obvious places like bathrooms and change rooms. There's a note from Carlos stuck to one of the monitors. I sit my keys on the desk and read it. Hey Will, thanks again for covering my shift tonight. This is Carlos's week, but the guy's got a family. I was happy to cover. The note continued. I forgot to mention, while the store's closed for the holidays, it's our job to take down and pack up the Christmas decorations. I'll get it done over the next few nights, but anything you can get done tonight will be appreciated. The boxes are in the storage room on the ground floor beside the fitting rooms. Thanks again, Will. Merry Christmas. Carlos. It's bittersweet. On the one hand, I'll be busier tonight than I expected when I agreed to cover. But on the other hand, I don't like Christmas. It'll be nice to not have to look at these decorations. I look at the monitors with dread. Each and every one of them is littered with streamers, banners, fake snowflakes, presents, elves, and all sorts of other decorations. The monitor covering the toy section on the first floor is the worst. That area of the store has an entire animatronic setup of the North Pole. The centerpiece is the life-size Santa Claus holding a big red sack, complete with his slain reindeer. I have a choice to make. There's enough time in the shift to either pack the North Pole display or leave that and do everything else. I'll let the storeroom decide. First things first, I need to check that the place is locked up. Rain tumbles outside against the glass shop front as I make my rounds. As they always are, I find the entry and fire doors locked tight. Storeroom door doesn't want to move after I unlock it. The wood of the door's warped in the frame. Inch by inch I pull it free. It smells putrid. This is definitely a room specifically for the Christmas decorations. This room only sees new air twice a year. The cord slaps my face. I give it a pull, and the dull bulb offers an eerie dim light in the darkness. It is barely better than no light at all. My eyes take a moment to adjust. Well, there's my decision made. Large cardboard boxes are stacked neatly against the side wall. Each one has neat text or letters written on the side reading North Pole. The scuff echoes through the building as I drag two of the biggest boxes behind me across the linoleum floor. The North Pole scene comes into view. No wonder I hate Christmas. The Santa's black lifeless eyes seem to follow me. How is this for kids? The thing is damn right creepy. It doesn't look human. Now I know what you're probably thinking. Will, it's an animatronic. Of course it doesn't look human. But that's not what I mean. This thing has grey skin and black eyes. There isn't even an effort to make it look remotely human. There's nothing I can do but laugh at myself as I feel the goosebumps rise on my arms. The boxes land with a thud in front of the animatronics. You're the reason I hate Christmas, I say to the Santa. I'm packing you away first, you creepy bastard. The smash is loud. Fuck! Parts of one of the reindeer scatter across the floor. One of the boxes had knocked it over. Sorry, Rudolph. The red nose sitting in the middle of the floor gives away his identity. Behave yourselves, or I'll do the same to the rest of you. Guess I better clean up the mess. Hopefully the CCTV proves that it was an accident. Everyone seems to know I'm not a fan of Christmas here. One less thing to pack next year. My words echo through the building as I march back to the storage room to grab the broom. My fingers grip the wooden handle and I freeze. The sound is both unbelievable and unmistakable. Sleigh bells. But not in the way that's familiar to me. These are slow and drawn out. They carry across the quiet shop floor. There's someone else here. I creep along the aisles, trying both to focus on the sound and stay silent myself. Sounds hard to pinpoint, but it sounds like it's headed toward the hardware section. I make my way and I see it. Sitting in the middle of the floor is Santa's red sack. It's hanging open. Crouching low, I peek inside. I don't know what I expected, but it's not this. Grinning up at me is a human skull. My blood runs cold. I see the identical worn work shirt to the one I'm wearing right now. The name tag pinned to the front says Chris. The crash makes me jump. Up ahead, the axes in the hardware section are lying scattered on the floor. There's definitely someone else in here. I have to get back to the security office. Keeping silent doesn't matter to me anymore. I sprint through the ground floor towards the escalator. I pass the toy section. Fuck, the Santa isn't there anymore. My breathing is short as I stop at the bottom of the escalator. Over my breathing, I hear the bells again. The staggering shape, dressed in red, moves toward me, axe dragging along behind. I can't move. This isn't real. The animatronic Santa walks as if it were a marionette pulled by strings. The top half of its body bobs and sways as the legs carry it forward. Its body twists and lurches. Those black eyes. Those eyes stayed right on me. The bells attached to its boots jingle with each new step. I can't feel my legs anymore. Somehow, they carry me up the escalator. My boot catches on the last step. The wind leaves my lungs. My chest slams into the floor. I look back. Santa has reached the bottom of the escalator and stopped. My heart drops as its head cranes upward. A smile crosses its lips as its eyes find me. Fuck this. I burst through the door of the security office and through the back door to the stairwell. I take the steps two at a time. My keys! They're on the security office desk. Do I have enough time to go back? I sprint back up the stairs. My fingers find the door handle. I can hear the bells on the other side. I crack the door open and peek. The Santa's hands are working the CCTV desk. It's erasing the footage. The axe is resting on the desk. My keys are sitting there beside it. The Santa's hand grips the axe handle. Its head swivels 180 degrees to face me. I have nowhere to run. While I'm frozen trying to decide what to do, the Santa lunges toward the door. I trip backwards into the darkness of the stairwell. My ankle cracks. Pain shoots through my leg. I crawl down the stairs. The door opens and closes above me. The sound of the bells echo through the darkness, inching closer and closer. Those bells, they're the last thing I ever hear. If you liked what you heard, please like and share the video. Please leave a comment and subscribe to the channel. Normally this is the point in the video where I remind people sometimes there really is something hiding in the dark. But instead, I'd like to take the opportunity to wish everyone listening and those nearest and dearest to them a safe and Merry Christmas.